Hello and welcome back to Foodinati UK, and I'm here with a returning friend, friend of Foodinati. Vicious Precious is here.
Hiya.
Pretty addicted. And it's a special day today, isn't it?
It is. It's the launch of We the Broken Children of Hell, my 5th studio album, and I'm really psyched. Launch party gig, so we're playing a lot of the new songs for the first time. It's going to be fab.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
I put out my review today. It's up on the Instas and the TikToks and the things, so go check it out. It's quite a long one because it's quite a big album, isn't it?
Yes, 18 tracks, 2 CDs. Because like I say, I write rave music essentially. I'm used to the 6-minute format,
Sure,
so it's
right.
harder to. It doesn't. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I should make it shorter, but then it's like, no, he's got to go on this journey, and I like
it's
trance,
great.
so I just like that.
So one dance music producer to another,
Yes.
right? I have a list of questions now. I've listened to your
for it.
album, so it's fine. One thing that's very apparent, and this is possibly the biggest big up I could give another dance music producer, is you know your history, right? There's a lot of references in there, deep cuts, like deep cuts that I get because, you know, I'm 45. I've been through a lot of dance music, but there's some deep. There's some Detroit references, am I right? Yeah, and there's like some early 90s electronica vibes going on. It's not all like rave, bang, bang, bang. There's some respite in there's some light and shade, there's dynamics going on. I just want to say big up on that.
Thank you. Well, I think we both, you know, the word experience says a lot in this room. But yeah, like absolutely. Like today I got a comment saying, oh, this reminds me of The Prodigy, and I died. Like that's definitely like that early experience album is
some of the breaks are great on it.
Thank you.
Well, I'm a nerd for that shit.
Yes.
So I troll my folders and folders of breaks, and you've picked some prime ones.
Thank you.
I could even hyper nerdier and tell you what they're called, but I'm not going to do that.
Well, I do chop them up as well, though, mix them.
Yes, nice fills too.
Yes.
But this isn't Dance Music Producer 101. It's a great record for anybody. I don't normally swear in my interviews. But it's for anyone who's wanting to get into it. The darker side of things, but like a metaler who might be wanting to dabble in dance music a little, it's a crossover record, isn't it?
Yeah, no, do you know what? That's kind of the direction I wanted to be going with this one and sort of onward. Because I really like black metal.
Yes.
You know, that's why I got a lot of double pedal in there. I like Behemoth a lot and that kind of darker. It's just because it's like the darkest metal you can get. So even though I love heavy metal and Lamb of God and stuff to listen to, like from a writing perspective, I like that darker sort of blacker.
It lends itself to electronic vibes as well.
Yes, absolutely.
It's soundscapey and washy.
Exactly. And you know, when you got like Dimmu Borgir doing like orchestral, that kind of mix works really well, like electronic and classical with that. So yeah, a lot of synths, you know, a lot of up there synths, top synths, and yeah, just wanted, you can make things really dark on the top end as well, and then dark on the bottom end. It just creates this like grimy sound in the middle.
Fun you should mention grime. One thing that comes across as well in the record in its total is it's very brave production-wise, because I'm a big believer in, like, sometimes the space can tell the song for you.
Right.
There's a sparsity in places, which is, you kind of put yourself out there when you do that, because there's no room for errors when you do that. Minimalism is one of the hardest things to pull off.
Absolutely,
really
especially
hard.
vocally.
Yeah.
And there's a few sections of songs that I always myself on live because, you know, there's no drums and it's just like literally me, and it's very hard to get that right unless you're super confident in it. It's a lot of practice.
Yeah, no safety net.
Yes.
I mean, I remember when Nat and I started, like, sort of just stripping things back in 601, and we were constantly going, is that enough? Are we not going to be getting asked, like, you didn't try hard enough?
Yeah.
But the thing is, you exercise humility in the face of the craft.
Yes.
So therefore, it's what the song needs.
That's it. And like you say about the open space, that's exactly it, and it telling the story, because I say this to Chris, my drummer as well on stage, sometimes he does that drummer thing where he wants to fill the space. I'm like, no, allow it to breathe. Yeah, it needs to. Because then you can hit it back in extra hard. So
yeah, if you let it dissipate, then you've got far more impact when you're coming back.
Exactly.
But something a lot of young producers, you know, they just got all their toys and they go maximal on everything, and it's like everything's ramped up to 10. It's just like no, there's better ways of making a huge impact.
The guy who taught me everything I know about production, AB, shout out, retirement makes me sad, but he told me once that when I was first learning, because I wanted to add more to make a bigger sound, and he said to me, try removing some stuff. But actually it hits harder the less in that moment that there is, because you're like, oh, I'll add this and that, and it's just like, it's not getting heavy enough. And he's like, take something out. And all of a sudden it just hits.
Absolutely, because there's only so much room in the sonic landscape. And if you just have, if you just have like 4 things there, it's going to just hit it so much harder.
Absolutely.
So respect on those levels. Respect on, right, question. Who's Heather?
So she is what I call my health anxiety.
I thought it might be an alter ego thing.
Yeah, well, no, it's not an alter ego. It's my anxiety demon. Like sometimes, because I don't know if you know much about health anxiety, but it's basically you believe like you're going to die and you're actually ill. That's what Am I Sick is about as well. But when I was going through therapy in coronavirus times, the therapist I spoke to said, give her a name, and then every time she's telling you you're going to die, physically, like out loud, tell her, shut up, Heather. Yeah. And I got used to it, and I told my partner at the time, I was like, look, it's going to sound weird, just go with it.
I think that's great.
Yeah, so now I'm just talking to her like, no, Heather, no. So
it's got a name now.
Anyone can relate as well. And, there's a fan of mine, shout out Mike, who said, 70 years old, he said he suffered with anxiety. Now he's started to call his thing something, so he can tell it to shut up, and
that sounds so productive, actually.
Yeah, it sounds silly at the beginning, like when you out loud say like "shut up, Heather," but actually you start to see it as it's not you, it's this thing that's trying to attack you,
and it's that stupid thing. And if you give it a name, it makes it even easier to
exactly put it away in its place.
That was not the answer I was expecting. That was a way better. That was a way better answer than I was expecting. That was so productive. That's cool. Do that.
We're helpful here. This is a TED Talk.
We're here to help. As well as it being brave production, it's brave for you vocally as well, because you really are putting yourself out on the line there. I can see why you are a fan of vocalists like Megs from Vexed, who similarly has a kind of what's and all kind of approach to her songwriting. Yeah. Is it that like part of the process for you if you have to talk about something?
Yeah, well, do you know what? I've gotten so much better vocally since like my first record, where I didn't actually really believe I could sing, so my screaming was more talking, which had its place at the time. But through genuine just like practicing, I've just gotten, my range has gotten so much better, so I can push it more. And in the coronavirus times when I couldn't go out for 2 years, I just did nothing but sing other people's songs that I couldn't sing until I could sing them.
Great.
To like push it. So now I found that I can do like sort of Danny Filth screech type, and then like I cover Adele and I can nail it, and I'm like, I actually do all these things.
Some of the amazing parts on the record are when you, because as awesome as you scream, when you back into like just a singing, but it's like a kind of like Courtney Love-esque kind of drawl, kind of like spitting attitude, like but it is singing. Yeah. But it's singing with attitude.
Yeah. Do you know who's really great that I found that I'm quite similar to vocally, not to like I'm saying that I'm amazing, but Miley Cyrus has got that like
rasp.
That rasp, which I have lent into because I have it. And before I was like, when I grew up and I was doing singing lessons, they were like, try and sing normally and get rid of that.
Or the vocal fry.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, it makes you different. And then you know that that's vicious singing, rather than just like some of these like sort of gothic vocals where it's like, you're not quite, it could be any of them.
Yeah, it's monotonous. Exactly.
So even though they nail those notes, you're like, who is this again? You can't really tell, but like when you hear like Brody Dale, you know it's a
I love her. I love that woman. Right. Now, you're a vegan.
I am.
We are Foodinati. Therefore, there has to be a food element. And we're having a party. What do you have with parties? Cakes.
Yay!
Yay! Vegan cakes. Now,
animals aren't food, they're friends.
I went all over Headingley in Leeds, which is full of students, by the way, looking for vegan cakes. And hard. But it was only when I got defeated and went back home, I realised I live next door to a vegan bakery. So
you got your steps in.
So I got my steps in. So big up Humble Bakery.
Humble Bakery.
Stay
humble.
Now these aren't like cakes, like I couldn't get you a cake made.
Of course.
But these are some treats. Yeah. Now there's a really cool one which I think. There you go. Try that for. Now I don't remember what these are, but they're all vegan.
That looks amazing.
There's definitely a millionaire shortbread here. Yeah, it's huge.
Oh, it smells amazing.
That's why I thought that one was a good one.
I could definitely eat this 2 bites like Chris.
That's a photogenic cake right there.
That is gorgeous, and it's so sugary. Oh.
So big up Humble.
Humble.
Right.
Sizes aren't so humble.
Monkbridge Road, Headingley.
Let's show the cakes.
Yeah, there's the other. So we've got some millionaire shortbread in there.
That's up my street.
There's a big fat chunk of that. I think that's a white chocolate and strawberry.
Chris, let's
Let's just have a party here.
That's stuck to. Oh, that smells good. It's like.
Well, that looks like we should leave it in the packet because it's all melting.
Same with this, but smell that. That's gorge.
Oh yeah. Big up Humble.
Big up Humble Bakery. Thank you so much.
You've made a young lass very happy with your vegan cakes.
And when the calories sit on, I'll blame you.
Well,
it's a party. It's fine.
It's fine. I'm sure you dance it off. Right. So what's the plan? It's tour now, isn't it? Tour.
You did say by accident.
Tour? No tour. You're on tour.
But yeah, today's the start of the tour in Leeds, and then next week we've got Bedford, Manchester, Newcastle, Finland, Helsinki Industrial Festival in Finland, and then we come back to play Folkestone, Bristol, Glasgow, and Harrogate. So
good Lord. You're never off the road, are you?
No. Well, we're taking a little break after, but then we're going to come back in like May, and then we've got a big summer planned in Europe, hopefully. So, yay! It's all good news from here. I see this album as like the start of my new era, and
absolutely,
like upping my game, leveling up. I do feel like really, really extra proud of this one, and I think I've like evolved and matured, and I'm much better.
I'm a firm believer in what a lot of bands say, where it's an album tour cycle. I believe in the cycle, so you're just entering your new cycle.
Yes.
So lots to happen, and you are leveling up. It's definitely leveling up. So big up, Vish.
Thank you so much.
Big up.
Chris, did you shout out Chris? Bring him over, Chris. Chris is my live drummer / partner, so you can't hit on him. All the gay guys hit on him.
So Chris is here, Vish is here.
Do you know what? I will say thank you to Chris, because those songs that you listen to, like The Room, which is 175 BPM double pedal, this plays it on stage.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So he's still working on that is 200, but that will be next year. But this, sorry, this guy.
We have a button for these things.
I'm really like proud and impressed of his progress, and he's become such a good drummer in the time that I've known him. So thank you.
Big ups all round.
Big ups all round.
Big ups all round indeed.
What's your favourite song on the album, Chris?
Do you know what? I'm varied because I keep changing. Feed the Sheep and Bloodlust seems to be my, but then there's that one with that kind of wavy dark.
I like
that comes
Bloodlust.
in at the end as well. I forget what.
Just look after yourself. Make good decisions. Be kind to people. Be kind to animals. And follow Foodinati.
That's how we sign off.